Hello, it's me, the Avatar Fanatic, and today we will be discussing about who I think would win in the battle between Iroh and Jeong Jeong. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and comment who you think would win in an Agni Kai between Iroh and Jeong Jeong. Now, onto the video. Let me start off with stating that both Firebenders are two of some of the best that we've ever seen. Jeong Jeong is a firebending prodigy who mastered firebending in his teenage years, and who was former admiral to the Fire Nation. Jeong Jeong's firebending was revolved around discipline as his main component to his success, with his bending techniques being insanely powerful and extremely coordinated. Iroh also had this quality of his bending ability being extremely effective in coordinating. They both became better people by really questioning themselves and learned new things when it came to firebending along the way. First, Jeong Jeong was a pretty defensive fighter, waiting for his opponents to attack as he thought his firebending was a curse and avoided trying to damage people because he thought it was destructive. Mostly, he avoided attacking first again because he knew his own bending ability and power to be one of the strongest in firebending history. It's also interesting to point out that he might contain himself in a battle, and it might hurt him if he doesn't go on the attack enough, but it also might happen to help him, as Iroh often capitalizes on people in battle because of a lack of discipline, so keeping a good amount of discipline could help him in this battle. Jeong Jeong also had this cool and different propulsion technique, which means that he can basically firebend midair without veering off side to side. So that's another tool he can use against Iroh to really help him exercise his fullest capabilities against him. Next, it's Iroh. He also revolves his firebending around discipline and is generally a more balanced fighter. He usually starts off with defense and overwhelms you with offense. He was focused on using his firebending in many ways, learning waterbending and earthbending techniques to find new ways to bend things like lightning. He can also breathe fire, and he can incorporate this against Jeong Jeong to deter him of his attacks, which he can do if he uses his stonewall defense against Jeong Jeong well enough. This is where I'll tell you guys where Iroh edges and where Jeong Jeong edges in each category and why. When it comes to attack, Iroh edges it, as he's the more frequently attacking fighter and has more of an offensive moveset than Jeong Jeong. I feel like Iroh can overwhelm Jeong Jeong more with his offensive moveset and arsenal than Jeong Jeong can overwhelm him with his own. When it comes to defense, it's pretty much a tie. Their core principles are the same, but their defensive movesets are different. While Jeong Jeong can make a disappearing fireball and huge firewalls to block vision from his opponents, Iroh can breathe fire, redirect lightning, and he also can use hand-to-hand combat to block his opponent's offense. I think Jeong Jeong's defense might be better in total, but Iroh has more tools to defend with and is more fluid in transitioning their defenses to attack. Jeong Jeong wins in terms of mobility because of his unique propulsion and disappearing technique, but Iroh can use some of his more clever types of mobility to get around Jeong Jeong and avoid attacks while doing so. Iroh takes an edge in terms of bending ability and talent because Iroh is probably the second most talented firebender we've ever seen behind Ozai. I personally think he's more talented than Azula, but it's debatable, and even Ozai and Iroh is debatable in my opinion. Jeong Jeong is certainly extremely talented, but no one can really match Iroh when it comes to bending talent apart from Azula and Ozai, and for that, Iroh takes the nod. For bending technique, I will also edge Iroh as his water type teachings such as specific forms of lightning redirection and fire breathing is actively put into his arsenal to use. Don't forget the Sun Warriors techniques taught to him in Ran and Shaw's test, along with his extreme precision and energy efficiency. Jeong Jeong has some stuff of his own, such as his original propulsion tactic, his disappearing act, and his highly efficient bending and swift movements and accuracy when it comes to bending. But Iroh is possibly the most technical fighter and bender out of anyone we've ever seen. With Ozai, that's also debatable if you read some stuff about him outside of the show, but no one else really matches. Even though Jeong Jeong is probably third on that list of technique, Iroh takes it from me in terms of bending techniques. Overall, I'd edge Iroh in a fight 7-3 versus Jeong Jeong. So definitive enough to be significant, but not a destruction of either fighter either. But mostly that's due to both of their skills. Iroh would win with consistent defense and then counter on offense and overwhelm him with the counters, while Jeong Jeong would win off of his defense and getting a fatal shot off by disorientating Iroh. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more Avatar content. Comment who you think would win in an Agni Kai between Jeong Jeong and Iroh. And until next time, the Avatar Fanatic out.